So, good afternoon, all of you. Welcome to this orientation lecture. The batch is starting from tomorrow, 28th of January. Our timing will be 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 in the morning, right? Here in this classroom, you are going to start that particular batch. I'll just take you 15 minutes. I'll just give the brief of the structure of this course, how we are going to proceed. Uh, This batch is for target 2026. So if somebody is here who is targeting 2025, I like to make clear that the timeline is such that we will not be able to catch the target of 2025. So I hope you are of 2026 or beyond. कोई 25 का नहीं है यहाँ पे ना? Okay, ठीक है. The course duration is 9 months. We'll try to finish it in 9 months. There can be some lectures here and there. Okay. And when you are going through the process of this course, don't be very much obsessed with the time. Okay. Because if you very frequently come to us and ask कि course कब खत्म होगा, course कब खत्म होगा, for us, the quality of the course is more important rather than following a timeline. I know for you time is important. You'll be sitting here for 2.5 hours, 2 hours every day. But we are also going to give the equal amount of time. Okay. कुछ lectures यदि अधिक लेने पड़े और उसके चलते यदि syllabus अच्छे से complete हो जाए, then we don't mind that, and you should also not be minding that. So there can be some lectures here and there. Rest we are targeting for the 9 months course duration. Syllabus you all have been given, right? That day in the workshop we discussed the syllabus, and ma'am will discuss it today also. Days of lecture, it will be 6 days per week. Sundays are usually off, but don't schedule something on Sundays also. Going forward, we may also have the classes on Sundays also. So initially 6 days, it can be 7 days also. So don't schedule anything in that particular slot. 4 days, usually the class of ma'am is there, and ma'am is going to start from Western political thought. She will explain further about the topic. 2 days, some topic other than the Western political thought. It can be my topic, that is Indian government and politics, the section 1B, or it can be one of the IR topics, United Nations, something with which we can start. So there will be 2 streams of syllabus topics going on. Okay, so 6 days per week. The structure that we follow, that first the topic would be explained. Then if you have any doubt in between, you can raise your hand. Those who are attending the lectures offline, mic would go to you. You will ask your doubts. Kindly ask the doubts. Don't give the opinion, because what happens is that it is a political science paper, right? We are going to study many things which will be very much igniting in nature. So right from the Western political thought to Indian political thought to reservation to role of caste religion in Indian politics to IR, the entire syllabus is thought provoking, but ultimately at the end of the day we are aiming to qualify this examination. We're not targeting at winning any debate as such. And somehow what we write in the political science paper is much beyond the rhetorics. So you don't write rhetorics in your answers. It is the substance that you write in your answer sheet. So the focus should be on better understanding. Whatever doubt is coming, kindly raise the hand. The person will reach to you and the teacher will address. Those who are attending online, for them there will be a doubt session after the class through the Zoom session. Okay. The notes will be dictated to you. Okay. There's another batch of ours which is starting from mid of that is a 6 months duration course, but there we are not dictating the notes. There the handouts written by you only, the notes written by you only will be given to them as handouts, and we are going to reduce this time component of dictation. If you ask my preference, my opinion, I would say always go for the batches where you are taking the notes, because when you make notes, things get fixed in your muscle memory. और आप अपनी नोट्स को जब दोबारा पढ़ते हैं, आपको क्लास का पूरा कॉन्टेक्स्ट ध्यान में आ जाता है. When you are making notes, please be active. What happens generally in a class of 2.5 hours or 2 hours, in the last half an hour आप passive mode में चले जाते हैं कि अभी लिख लेते हैं, घर पे जाके रिवाइज कर लेंगे, समझ लेंगे. Please don't go in that. एंड अ टीचर कैन अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम द फेस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट कि कौन एक्टिवली सुन के समझ के लिख रहा है, कौन बस लिख ले रहा है ये सोच के कि घर जाके पढ़े. Because if you follow this passive approach, even for let us say 1 hour daily, you are wasting 30 hours in a month, and this is not the way of going through this study. Be very active, समझ के लिखना है, कहीं डाउट आए you have to ask the question. Take the dictation. If there is something to note on the margins, kindly note that. बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं जो टीचर नोट्स में नहीं लिखवाएगा, बट while the explanation he will be saying. Kindly note down that also, because those factual information are also important, especially at the interview stages. Okay, so explanation, dictation. In some cases there can be handouts. For example, let us say UN से related topic है, UN bodies. Now these are very factual topics for which handouts can be given. Anything which is analytical, we are not going to give handouts. We are going to explain and dictate in the class. Again, at some point of time you may feel कि dictation थोड़ा boring हो रहा है, but it is the single most important thing I'm telling you. After finishing this course, you may forget our faces, but how you will connect to the syllabus, to the Paul science, is through the notes only. This is going to remain with you till your selection. So notes are a bit boring to write, but before the examination what you require, कुछ notes होता है जिसको हम पढ़ के, you cannot go for reading books, newspapers. You require notes, and notes are going to be quite comprehensive. I mentioned in the workshop also, somehow in Paul science the questions are not coming out of the notes. One reason is that if you are taking so much of time, for which we are infamous, we are making sure कि आपके notes इतने रहें कि उसके beyond question नहीं पूछा जाए, right? And foundation course is something that you do only once. It's not that with every attempt you are going to take a new foundation course. So if it is taking time initially, it is worth. Okay. Doubts in the classroom, tablet students, they can ask after the class. Flow of the lectures, I told 2 streams would be started, 4 days plus 2 days. 4 days में western political thought start होगा, 4 days में it will be a topic related to IR or IGP. Okay. Now all of you are in the offline mode here. If any one of you is thinking of switching to the tablet mode, kindly take the decision within first 5 lectures. After that, switching to the online mode will be difficult, because there will be a financial component connected with that. So यदि मान के चलिए कोई है बहुत दूर से आ रहा है और उसे लग रहा है कि हमारे 1 घंटे 1.5 घंटे वेस्ट हो रहा है, then come for the first 5 lectures, calculate if the time is getting wasted, make this decision, contact the PSIR coordinator, she will help you in switching from the offline to online mode. But take this decision in the initial days. If you are thinking of going to another city other than Delhi, we will allow you to do the classes there if we have the regional centers there. For example, in Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bhubaneswar, Jammu, we have the regional centers there. You can switch. Otherwise, you'll have to switch to the tablet mode. How the missed lectures would be managed, because many of you I'm sure must be college students जहाँ पे exams होंगे, or maybe because of the health reasons you'll be missing on the classes. So for that, if the classes are getting missed, you are supposed to contact the coordinator, and we have tablets at the premises. So we have 15-16 tablets in the library floor, and slot would be given to you. You can go and watch those lectures. Baki, make sure that don't miss the lectures without any concrete reason, because once you miss, then वो gap आ जाता है, and maybe there can be some challenge in further understanding the syllabus topics. Okay. Those who are the online students, they are getting 20 exceptional lectures. Now there will be prime mode of the connection between you and us would be the Telegram channel. A link would be sent to you on your registered email ID. Through that link, join this Telegram channel, because every day information of the next day's class would be given through this Telegram channel. So basically, the name of the teacher, the topic, and the timing of the class would be given. So on a daily basis, you'll have to, before coming to the class, once you have to check the Telegram group. If you want to write to us, if any problem is there, then you can write on this email ID, psir@shubhraranjan.com. Okay, and when you write from the email ID with which you are registered, then only we can identify you. Otherwise, if it is not registered with us, the coordinator may not take that mail seriously. Those who are online student, if there's any problem related to the tablet, any technical issue, they will have to write at support@shubhrajan.com. So for offline students, only this email ID is important. Anything related to PSIR, if you want to write to us, you can write on this particular mail. And that's it from my side. Any doubt that you have with respect to the structure of the course? Any technical doubt? Good. Take it. And when you come to join the class tomorrow at the 8:30 in the morning, there are students already in that particular batch who were till now reading the international relations. So their Western political thought is also starting from tomorrow itself. So it's not that and don't have this particular mindset कि उन्होंने पहले पढ़ लिया है, ऐसा नहीं है. They have read the international relations. So Cold War again, जो they will exit before you. Okay. So the Western political thought, ma'am, is going to start from the base level from tomorrow. It's okay. Any doubt? Fine. Ma'am, go with it.
Was to inform you all about the course flow and other technical things. And tomorrow we will be starting with the Western political thought. Fine. And I will recommend that you make notes on the loose sheets. Okay. Why? Because content keeps on evolving. Sometimes not many things keep on coming in newspapers. Though in political thought section, not much change, but in IR, fine, it is not possible otherwise to manage and note it down. So it will be helpful if from the very beginning, if you will use the loose sheets, especially in international relations. Now, for the background of the subject, we will be sending जरा अंशुल को बुलाना PYQ. Okay, so previous year questions are the best guides to understand what is to be studied in which paper. Now what should be your, इनका कोई वो है, टेलीग्राम ग्रुप बनाएंगे तो क्वेश्चंस पोस्ट कर देना है, मैं भी बता देती हूँ. तो इनको पता है वो ग्रुप, आपको पता है टेलीग्राम वाला. तो अभी हम लोग वेस्टर्न थॉट स्टार्ट करेंगे एंड वी विल सेंड यू क्वेश्चंस, रीड क्वेश्चंस, फाइन, so that you are tuned to understand the focus of the class. Okay. And for political science, Uh, how many of you are not from political science? Okay. So, means are you from natural sciences, science background? Okay. But have you done general studies? Have you found any problem when you have done polity, when you have done history? No. Ethics? Have you done ethics? Okay. Found problem? But understanding is not a concern. Na? Otherwise, rest of you know about the humanities. So the first topic that we will start, as I discussed in the foundation also, is the Western political thought. And maybe some of you, those who are not from political science, may find as if something abstract we are discussing. And it will take time, it will take 4 5 days to get adjusted and understand the, I will say, flavor of the paper. Okay. So, to begin with, as I said, political science is a combination. You will study factual parts, you will also study philosophical part, and first we will finish the philosophical part, which sometimes initially you may find it is very abstract, because this has been the experience. Like when we start with Plato and other thinkers, some students find it too abstract. So Plato is actually very abstract, but with the patience you will understand. And all those who have already studied ethics, I will suggest that try to start relating these things. And uh, this subject is based on understanding. Fine. This subject is based on concepts. So either you will understand the concept in the class or you will never understand. So don't come with the mindset that you are coming here just to write the notes and you will ever get time at home to revise. The volume of the content that is to be studied for civil services, whether it is optional or GS, is so big. Fine. So you cannot leave things for the next day. Don't, our mind will operate in the way we want it to operate. Fine. So this is the tendency I have seen in the students, that they feel that they will go and revise at home, but practically it will not be possible. Initially it may be possible, but as the content will increase and simultaneously your GS content is also going to increase, your traditional and current, forget the possibility of revision. Okay. And it is very easy. Political science, or for that matter any humanity subject, is very easy, subject to the condition you just understand. It is like talking with your friends. Suppose I am suggesting democracy is not good, one man institution is good, so take it easy. Don't get frightened with big names of Plato and Aristotle. They are very normal people. Fine. So why we don't understand? If same thing is told by our friends, we understand. But when some thinker gets attached, and that thinker's image captures so much of our mind that we start fearing them. So just take it lightly. They are normal people living in just in their graves, and they are not there to haunt you or terrorize you, nothing like that. So more humanly you will take, more like something about day to day life you will take, much easier you will have. And what capacity you have to develop out of the lecture means, if someone asks me what is Plato's theory of idea, I should be able to explain. So mental revision is the key, and only in a situation where you can speak, then only you can write. And the methodology of this subject, understanding things in this subject, is always deliberative, means discussion based, arguments, counter arguments. Okay, so this is how the subject proceeds. So understand things in the class, and in case you want to prepare short notes for your exam, then you decide, because initially there will be lot of enthusiasm, but after that enthusiasm gets lost, and this exam is, I believe, exam of perseverance. If you start something, then you must continue and finish it. In case you want to do the revision, what you have to revise? What is the key in political science? You have to get command over the language. Command over the language is not English or Hindi or other language, language of the subject. Suppose if I use the term Plato is an idealist, you should be in a position to, this image should come to your mind. In political science, which scholars we call them as idealists. So if you will build a, if you have to revise, then in every lecture there will be certain key terms, okay, like epistemology, ontology, realism, phenomenology. So if you will prepare a dictionary of yours, just in Plato, 20 terms, and I am very clear about those terms. This is what the revision is. So there is no point, I will be giving you detailed notes. So no point to go and make notes again, because you end up writing everything. Okay, and that is not required, because the questions that will be asked will be such which will definitely require lot of input from your side. The questions will test not your information about Plato or Aristotle, but your understanding. Okay, whether, that is why every time they will ask, or they will be asking the question critically examine. They will ask question, comment, and this is the exam where you are not expected to mug up the things. That is hardly of any use. It is just a wastage of resources, a wastage of your time, thinking, and more thinking. Just you can do oral revisions. Just think why Plato has opposed democracy. Is Plato right in opposing it? So you have to be active learner and you need to involve yourself. And the best thing about the subject is if you will understand, you don't have to revise. The only thing is you have to have a command over the terminology. So if you are really serious for the preparation, which is everybody in the beginning, but ultimately if you can sustain, then the revision thing is immediately go home, note down the terms, and I will also recommend have 2 3 color pens. Okay, means when a term is used, use a different pen. If I am using some scholar, that will be more in international relations. Fine. So suppose in international relations, I suggest according to this person, UNSC has to be reformed or not. So at the time of revision, if you will use different pens and you only want to revise facts, you can just go through that. If you only want to revise names, so you can flip and understand this. And if you can leave margins in the sense in a particular page, the number of terms, suppose I have discussed 5 terms, you just make a list of that, just like periodic table. Fine. List of that. And you have to see, are you able to explain it or not? Again, political science is not to be studied like scientific disciplines. There is lot of freedom, scope. It is humanities. And political science is known as what? Democratic discipline. Means every view, etc., is if logical is acceptable. So what I have seen is students approach this with lot of fear. Their fear is means, am I speaking right? Fear of writing something wrong. These type of things are not there. Be fearless in the sense, be confident. I may be giving my opinion, but your opinion may vary. I may say India needs to have good relations with US. You may have difference of opinion. You can say that no, I believe Russia is more important. Fine. So you can have your valid arguments. I can have my valid arguments. And there is no need that I have to make you accept what I believe or you. You can write different points of views. Any argument which is logical is acceptable. Stop and rather leave the habit of the way you were studying in schools or colleges, and you require a lot of maturity. Fine. And with this subject, you will also evolve as a person. You will realize that it's a very good uh, mental medicine. It will act as a medicine. And if you can understand the essence of the subject, if you understand essence of this exam, and even if you don't study anything, it's okay. In the sense, if you don't have a previous background, that's okay. I will start from the base. I will build the base. If you have previous knowledge, then also I'll say just take it out, because there is a lot of unnecessary confusions and lack of clarity. And what is there in the humanities subject? Here 2 plus 2 is not always 4, right? It all depends, I see 4 or I see 5. So lot of subjectivity will come. That is why if you will read from multiple books, or if you listen to multiple persons, you will get confused. So you will have to go with my interpretation of any thinker, my interpretation of any international events. Means you have to have one centralizing theme around which we will develop. Okay. And in case if you are very new to humanities, and if you want that some background information on Western thought, the best thing is your world history book. Okay. So the world history means understanding the ancient time, understanding the medieval ages, but most importantly, understanding the modern times. Fine. So age of Renaissance, Enlightenment, Reformation, modernization, urbanization, rationalization. You can very well link whatever, because Western thought is basically the history of Western civilization. So we will, through the thought, we will be studying the history. Thoughts, one definition of a thought is it is a thinking of an age. Fine. So in history, you may be studying evolution through events. Here we will be studying evolution of history through the philosophical works. In literature also you can find history. There will be the scholars of modern times. There will be scholars when you read new poetry. So it is one and the same. And the subject, as you know, is very interdisciplinary. Initially, it will start with philosophy. Right now, the subject is very close to literature, linguistics, postmodernism, and these type of things will come. So more open-ended you will study, and the only thing is I want you to be mature and consistent. And we will be starting, as Satyaprakash may have told you, 4 days we will have Western political thought. Okay. And though not required, but if anybody wants to read further, you can take any basic book, any book is fine, because different students may have different requirement. Some may read and then understand. So I don't know, it is your choice. Fine. So the most simple book, Western Political Thought by O.P. Gauba, if you want. Otherwise, on net, IGNU is also there. Fine. If you have a habit of reading once, you can go through that. Otherwise, the standard book is by Subrata Mukherjee, but I don't recommend see what is your way of studying Western political thought by Subrat Mukherjee, right? So it's up to you. Subrat Mukherjee, initially, those who are not from political science may find difficult because it is little bit academic book, flow is not there, fine, and it is more like a cut paste type of a thing. So suddenly something else will come. It may not be very easy to read. Okay. So whatever suits to your style, you can go for that. This is the simplest book. I'll say safest. You can rely on this. There are books by Brian Nelson and all, but they don't cover all our topics. Okay. So this is one thing. Now the second thing, to cover the syllabus faster, maybe for Friday and Saturday, normally Satya sir takes Indian section, fine. But this time I will be taking certain portions of international relations also. Okay. And it's not that you will not understand, you will understand, don't worry. So because this will also help you in start making sense of the current events which are happening. And IR is also very elaborate. What is happening is it is expanding. So I don't want when we start one paper, we any paper can be stretched to any extent, right? So that balance sometimes goes. So it's better we will do simultaneously. Though we'll do for Saturday or Sunday too, but it can be for 3 days also. I will start. Now, international relations as a subject. What exactly do we study? It revolves around what? As a subject, all discourse, whatever we talk in international relations, do you know what is the core of it? Economy is the core of it. What else? National interest. So you took it in a different way. Huh? No. Just understand. Huh? Foreign policy. Understand that the best way to describe international relations is it is called as American social science. Right? So if philosophy part, this particular subject, political science, it is very Eurocentric subject. Okay. Eurocentric subject means it is dominated by the Western philosophers, Western theorists, Western concept, Western history. Its language is Western, fine, because it is believed that people in the East lacked political thinking. We don't have the text, just like Plato's Republic, which deals with the state as a subject. We don't have political texts. So in ancient India, the main texts have been Manu Smriti or Kautilya's Arthashastra. But Kautilya's Arthashastra is not a book of political philosophy. It is a book of public administration, and it is a book of geopolitics. Means it tells some strategy of war and then how to run, but it is not a book of philosophy. So our subject is very westernized subject. Okay. So what about Indian Constitution? Is Indian Constitution also Western in nature? Some very large extent. Fine. So till Second World War, evolution of political science has happened primarily in Europe, but after that it happened in USA. So systematic study of international relations is a contribution of Americans. The first school of international politics, and international politics is a very young discipline. Okay, so first school of international politics started in 1919, and the first chair means a sort of a department that was opened in the University of Wales. And the title of this chair was Woodrow Wilson Chair. And who was Woodrow Wilson? President of USA. Right? He is considered as the person who laid the foundation of the subject. Okay. And what is the objective of this subject? The objective of subject is, in the words of Woodrow Wilson, peace. Because in 1919, what happened? End of the First World War. Okay. And the scale of destruction was very big. So, how to have peace and how to avoid war? But it is international politics. Fine. And politics is not ethics. Fine. So, what is the difference between politics and ethics? So, ethics means something related to morality, and politics means against or don't stick to morality. So, is politics and hypocrisy same? No. Any politician in this world which you don't find is not a which you find is not a hypocrite other than Trump. Huh? The only innocent, honest person as a politician where there is no difference in what he thinks and what he says. He speaks straight from the heart. Fine. And that's why he's not a politician. Otherwise, others politicians will not be as straightforward. Fine. So there are only two great people. Fine. Who speak from the heart. We may like it, we may not like it. The first is who are the two greatest politicians and statesmen of our times? कौन है दुनिया का सबसे महान लीडर? तुम लोग को पता ही नहीं है. उसमें एक ने तो प्रूफ कर दिया है और दूसरे को करना है। किसको करना है? ट्रम्प को। ट्रम्प को करना है। ट्रम्प इज टेस्टिंग टाइम्स में। दो ही लीडर जो हैं जो दे स्पीक फ्रॉम द हार्ट। स्पीक फ्रॉम द हार्ट मतलब मन की बात, दिल। दिल से जो बोले, जो दिल से बोलता है वही एथिकल। ठीक है, बाकी पॉलिटिशियंस में आपको ये सब नहीं मिलेगा। ठीक है, तो अदरवाइज पॉलिटिक्स, द लैंग्वेज ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स इज हिपोक्रेसी, मीन्स डबल स्पीक। You say something and you mean something else. And political analysis is what? Read between the lines. Fine. So politics means what is not so important. What you say is not so important. Fine. What one intends to say. So we have to understand what one intends to say. It is called as reading the silences. Fine. So, the declared purpose of international relations as a subject is peace. But what is politics? Understand the politics behind it. Is the real objective of the discipline is peace? Answer is no. Fine. Because it is American social science. So the real objective of this discipline is to maintain hegemony of US. That is why in international relations, which country is the reference point? US. Trump is a president of US, but we also have so much expectation. He should not have done this. He should have done this. Fine. So, which is the center of gravity in international politics? USA. USA is a reference point. USA sets the trend. USA will define the world order. Fine. And the like Trump will decide what will be the future of the world order. And who has made this world? कि दुनिया किसने बनाई? आईआर की दुनिया किसने बनाई? यूएस ने बनाई। अपने भगवान कौन? दुनिया बनाई भगवान ने, तो आईआर का भगवान कौन है? यूएस है। ठीक है, मतलब इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, इवन इफ यू हैव टू स्टडी, इफ यू हैव टू गो and gain special, you want to gain specialization, where you have to go? US. ठीक है, आपको यूएस की तरफ देखना पड़ेगा। तो वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर किसने बनाया? जिस दुनिया में हम रह रहे हैं, द वर्ल्ड इन विच वी आर लिविंग, let us talk about international, is made by US. Okay, so since the time you have taken birth, you know United Nations is existing. Who made it? US. WTO, IMF, World Bank. Who will want climate Paris agreement to continue? Who will go for disrupting? US. Fine. So studying international politics is basically we are studying USA's foreign policy, and we have to keep track of each and everything which USA is doing or intends to do. Okay, what if Trump's come out of the Paris deal? What should be India's position? What if Trump comes out of UN Human Rights Council? What if US does not do this? What if Trump? What is our questions as a country on foreign policy? What if Trump is not interested in Quad? What if Trump wants to have closer relations with China? So there is no question which we can think without US. What if instead of, or what if USA restrain us from certain actions which we want to take vis-a-vis Pakistan? What if USA leaves from Afghanistan? What India should do? Fine. So studying international relations is about studying US foreign policy. And since when US started playing the role, there was no international politics before USA's entry. Fine. So before USA's entry, international politics was regional, continental. It was just a politics among European nations. Okay. And there used to be regional wars. This regional war became world war when USA enters. Okay. Now, at the time of the First World War, when this discipline was formed, at that time, Europe, US, Canada, they were the free places. Rest, Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, West Asia, Asia, this was all colonies. Okay. So since colonies, they didn't matter. Okay. And first time USA intervened in international politics is at the time of First World War. Before that, USA was following a policy of isolation. So we are today standing at the same place when the international politics started, because Trump may also go for a policy of isolationism, which he talks about America first. Okay. So USA was not involving itself, but with the First World War they started, and USA started building the world order. Okay. When USA's President Woodrow Wilson, he proposed 14 points, and on the basis of 14 points, he laid the foundation of the world order, the principles that will govern the world order, which Americans say liberal world order. Fine. So liberal world order means what? American led world order. And because of USA came into existence League of Nations, and then League of Nations collapsed because US Congress did not allow US to join the League of Nations. Till this time, the majority of the colonies were British, with few of France and Germany and other Europeans, but the biggest empire was the British Empire. After the end of British colonialism, so British colonialism ended when? decisively at the time of Second World War. So India used to be known as the jewel colony, crown colony. And Lord Curzon once said, the day British will lose India, they will lose their empire. Okay, so quit India 1942 and then 1947 after Britishers could not manage. What we see in the world, the beginning of American century, the end of European century, and America started building the institutions, building the norms and all. And so the major institutions or everything that we study in international relations is with the perspective of USA. Okay, so this is the brief. And why USA did all these things? Because after colonialism by USA, by Britain, a new colonialism was to emerge. And this time, American colonialism. Fine. So, Pandit Nehru held that US imperialism will be worse than British imperialism. And it was against US imperialism that we went for the policy of non-alignment. Fine. So India's policy of non-alignment was never against USSR because we have always been aligned with US. So whenever we talk about non-alignment, we are always non-aligned with reference to USA. So USA will always say, show you are non-aligned. So the testing time that we are non-aligned. So USA will always suggest that how come India is non-aligned when you are supporting Russian actions. Okay. So this is the background with which we will be studying international relations. Part A of the syllabus is about world politics or international organizations, and part B of the syllabus is India and the world. But we will do the integrated thing. You will have exam on the same day, and it's not necessary they will classify question of section A and section B. Fine. So we will start with the post second world war world order. Institutions like United Nations, India and United Nations, Bretton Woods institutions. So these are very simple international issues which we will be discussing. Any question? Indian political thoughts, normally we will not get time, so we'll give you the videos because IR and all will keep on expanding. So you have to prioritize in terms of the weightage of the marks. Okay. So what is more challenging is two areas where you should have good clarity and command, that is international relations and theory. Okay. So there we will do first, and then Indian is not such a, Indian is based on Western only because we don't have a language. Even if I have to discuss M.N. Roy and all, you have to first know the terms like existentialism and other. And for international relations, what should be the base? There is actually no base book, but if you want, uh, you can have Global Politics by Andrew Haywood. Okay. The portion which we will do now, Global Politics by Andrew Haywood. Though it is a bulky and a costly book, otherwise in graduation syllabus in DU and all, students take book by Tapan Biswal or PU Ghosh. These type of books are also okay, because anyway I am covering the topics. Okay, so if you want, you can take Andrew Haywood. And for the current, like, the best thing is MEA. You can look for statements, you can look for visits, and you will have to keep your sources very, very limited. Otherwise, you will get lost. And from time to time, I keep on making current affairs video on my YouTube. That also you can watch. Just like I made a video on uh, foreign secretary's visit to China, and I gave certain facts and the background information which you can keep track of it. I will also be making some other video on Paris Climate Agreement and Trump's policies. So, or otherwise, I find the Hindu is the best thing. You can refer the Hindu, fine. But initially, you will not understand, because to understand any issue, you should have a background, you should have concept, you should have language. Fine. So anything else, or we'll just end the session? You are scared? Scared? And uh, as we will proceed, more and more content will come. So you may develop a problem known as aporia. Okay, have you heard aporia? Aporia is a term given by one scholar, Derrida. And what is aporia? Aporia, suppose when you start a book, you can read 2-3 pages comfortably, but after you feel as if the mind has stopped and you can't study more, and you were understanding initially, but then you will stop understanding. Does it happens? Even if you read article, 2-3 paragraphs, all good, but suddenly what happens, as you move further, you need lot of background information. Your mind starts relating so many things, and the challenge start coming, because the information will be so much. I will be giving information on GS, you will have information on newspaper and media and all. So everything will create a situation of confusion. Fine. So ultimately, the end of the lectures, the end of knowledge is what? Confusion. Okay. So if you are getting confused, it means you are on the right path. Fine. Because the life is very complex and chaotic. Things are not so simple. Anyone finding things simple means he's not realistic. Okay. So more confusions means more near to the truth you are, and more clarity, you have clarity, I know everything, I am fully prepared, means you are not at all clear, you have not studied also. Because as you will enter into studies, nothing you will get other than confusion, and confusion will become so big, you will find to close your eyes and sleep. Close your eyes, what you will find? Darkness. Fine. So what is the truth of this word? Darkness. When a person like Buddha could not understand anything. Okay. So when Buddha asked what is truth, Buddha says, I don't know. Fine. So after spending so much time, after sacrificing his palace and everything, and the person, rational person like Buddha could not understand anything. So just don't have over expectations from yourself that you will understand anything. Okay? So welcome to the world of confusions. Huh? And all that will understand, that you will understand is what that whatever you understood was nothing but misunderstanding. Okay? So welcome to this very special experience of getting confused, putting yourself open to aporia. But to be able to do all these things, you don't require to have clarity, you only require to have a strong will and a desire to overcome aporia. And it is, this exam is all about personality exam. Fine. So it wants to check, this exam checks your mental strength, your spiritual strength, and your physical strength. And that is why the challenges will come. So one who is strong will be able to manage, not because there is nothing simple in the life. Okay. So this is what I said. So if you want to know anything, otherwise we will meet tomorrow. I have scared you. नहीं लेना है, वैसी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम है वो और नहीं समझ में आएगी. सब जितना simple books, after simple books also you will not understand anything, and with heavy books also so you will not understand anything. That illusion will also be not there. So why have cheap books, simple books, or no books? Fine. This life itself is a big book. Learn from the book of life. You read, you watch DD News, you can watch Sunset TV, you can watch any other discussion which you like. That's fine. But you have to just keep track of mine. It means from now onwards you will have to adopt my approach. You have no other option. You have already paid the fees. Fine. So you need to adopt, and I'll be there to take you through this stormy thing, and I'm sure you will end up loving the subject. Fine. Anything else? So just my class, don't take it as a burden. Just come and relax. Your class time should be your relaxation. Okay. And the first test is, after listening to Plato and Aristotle, are you feeling relaxed or you are feeling nervous? Fine. If relaxed means you are the person who has a chances because you have that mental strength. And if Plato and their ideas, they start troubling you, you need to rethink or you have to reform yourself. Okay. So that's all. Thank you all of, thank you very much. And go through the questions. We'll post it in the Telegram. You can have a look on it. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet in the morning. Okay. So keep different pens. It will help you. If you want to revise, maintain it from the very first day. Note down the terminologies. साथ साथ भी करते चलो. See, I will give lecture, some terminology you can write down in the column, because otherwise it will not be possible to manage. Okay, fine, thank you.